Question 1. Solve the equation 5x squared plus 10x plus 2 is equal to 0. You must show all your work and give your answers correct to 2 decimal places. For this, we can use the quadratic formula, which states that when ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, are equal to minus b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Right, so in this case, we can set 5 as a because it is the coefficient of the x squared term. We can set 10 is equal to b, and 2 is equal to c. So now if we substitute in all these values into the quadratic formula, we would get minus 10 plus or minus root 10 squared minus 4 times 5 times 2, all of that over 2 times 5. Our answers would be negative 0.23 and also negative 1.77. Question 4. Factorize 3x squared plus 2x minus 8. For this question, we will use another method, which is called splitting the middle term. This means that we are trying to split the middle 2x term into two terms, which will separate the equation into two. I will demonstrate how this is done. What we need to do to get these two new terms is we will first multiply the constant by the coefficient on the x squared term, which is negative 8 times 3, to get 24. And the product of these two new terms, or new coefficients that we will get, will have a product of 24, right? So they will times to make 24. The sum of these two new terms would be the middle term, which is 2. So they would plus to make 2. Now we need to find these set of two numbers that add to make 2 and multiply to make negative 24. And as you can see, those would be negative 4 and 6. Then we will rewrite the equation replacing the 2x term by these new terms 6x and negative 4x, as these are the negative 4 and 6 are the coefficients of these new x terms. So if we rewrite the equation, we'll get 3x squared, and it doesn't matter which order we put it in. I will put plus 6x minus 4x minus 8. And as we can see, from here on we can split this equation in two, essentially. I'll draw a line here to show how we do that. And after, we have to factorize each side of the equation. So on the left side, this would turn into 3x, x plus 2. On the right side, this would turn into negative 4x plus 2. Then from here, to get the factorization of the original equation, one of our factors would be what's inside both parentheses, which would be x plus 2, and our other factor would be joining the two parts of what is outside the two parentheses, which would be 3x minus 4. And that would be our answer. Now to solve this equation equal to 0, what we need to know is that any number multiplied by 0 would give us 0. So now as we have a multiplication here, anytime any of these two terms within the two equations within the bracket is equal to 0 would give us 0. So this would give us two solutions, as either x plus 2 is equal to 0 or 3x minus 4 has to equal to 0. And this, when in the case of x plus 2 equals to 0, our x would equal to negative 2, because negative 2 plus 2 is equal to 0. In the case of 3x minus 4 is equal to 0, we would have 3x is equal to 4, and that means x would be equal to 4 over 3. And therefore these two answers are the solutions to this problem.
Okay, to start off, we will be looking at quadratic equations. So, looking at the question right below me, it is asking us to evaluate the equation x squared plus 4x minus 6, written in the form x plus m squared plus n, which is the vertex form. So in order to do this, there are many ways that we can tackle this, but the vertex form would be x minus h squared plus c, but it's not quite in that form, and it's going to be a bit complicated to do the negative b over 2a to find the midpoint, etc., etc. So instead of going for that method, we could just do this. We can expand the brackets, so x squared plus 2mx plus m squared plus n. So once we have this, we see that this is the coefficient, this is the constant, sorry, so that will be c. This will be 4, and this will just be 1. So now we can finally solve this equation for m and x. So we can see that 2m is supposed to equal to 4, which means m is equal to 2. We know m squared plus n is supposed to equal to negative 6. So we can do m squared, which is 4, n is equal to negative 6 minus 4, and n is equal to negative 10. So now we have it, folks. These are the solutions for m and n. So using the answer to part A, find a positive solution to x squared plus 4x minus 6. So what we can do is use this format, x plus m squared plus n, in order to find a positive solution to this equation. Or we could use the quadratic formula, but I am guessing that it'll be faster if we use this method. So we could say x plus 2 squared is equal to negative, well, n is negative 10, so n would be 10. X plus 2 is equal to square root of 10, and x is therefore equal to root 10 minus 2. And this will be around well, 2 squared, that'll be 4 root 10 minus root 4, 2 squared, 4, 3 squared. It'll be around 1.2. So that's the solution to this equation. Looking at the second equation, it is much more straightforward. We can either use quadratic formula, and that's what we'll have to do, because there are no nice numbers that can solve this equation. So instead of well, you already know the quadratic formula, so what we can do is attack this problem right on. So negative b, so 6 plus or minus b squared, 6 squared is 36, minus 4 and 5 times 3, which is 15. Negative 15. So we'll have 6 plus or, and all of this over 10. So we have 6 plus or minus 36 plus 4 times 15, which would be 30 times 2, 60, 36 would be, we would have 96 over 10, one of the values of x. So, I mean, we can leave it as this, and then we can look for the answers on the calculator, but once you plug in the values, we will get x is equal to negative 38, 0.38, and the second value of x will be equal to 1.